Hello guys, my name is Noor and
My name is Yesenia.
we are going to have like a small chit chat gossip kind of a session. Yes is for Yesenia and no is for Noor. And I think our daily topics are going to be something that we feel or we go through or we face in different cultures. She's
I'm
Yesenia.
Mexican American, so I'm from California, very liberal place, and Noor is from the opposite end.
I'm from Lahore, Pakistan, and as much as the city is evolved in terms of Pakistan, but like internationally, I think we're still very backward in a lot of things in terms of exposure. But I think we also know that the cultural. No, this is so bad. But I also feel that I think the family thing and all that in Pakistan, it's just way more beautiful than in the Western world. So I think we all have our flaws in one way or another.
In the West, there's a lot of individualism, so everyone is for themselves and has their own right to opinion, everything. But in Pakistan, it's a complete opposite. It's like a collectivist.
Yeah, and I think a part of us really likes it, despite of being away, because human beings need human beings.
Yeah,
You need me. Yes and no.
When I moved to Pakistan, I think it's getting crooked.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna sit slanted. So when I really moved to Pakistan, then I was really confused about what's going on here. But Noor really helped me integrate into the culture. She took me to buy my first kurta at Cross Stitch, I remember.
Yeah, it was her harm, by the way.
That's not a sponsored post of Cross Stitch.
But I feel like when I met her, I really felt like somebody I could relate to, somebody I could be really honest with. So for me, despite of living here, finding that honesty and finding that, like, I think acceptance in someone was very new, and that helped me make my relationships stronger with all my other friends, be more open and out there. So I think friendship really has to be something about that. We're not in love. In case.
Yeah, and I think like coming to a completely different place, I didn't think that I would find anyone who actually matches my mental level. So when I met Noor, I was shocked to know that there were people that existed here that were so amazing. So she's also one of the most amazing people I've met generally throughout my life in America and also in Pakistan.
Oh, that was so fake.
No, that was a genuine thing. If there's one thing about me, I don't lie. So
I think we both don't really lie.
Yeah,
I think I'm not, despite of not being very confrontational, English is not my first language. I'm bilingual.
You guys understood what she said.
Yeah.
So
So I and I have no shame. I think we all learn and we grow, and I think I'm just like you. If you're proud of your culture and where you come from, I think that helps you form an identity, and you don't become lost. You don't lose yourself. So I think she was so proud of her identity that I felt like, okay, no, I need to be more closer to my culture as well. So that's one thing that I also learned from her. Because I think in Pakistan, when we see someone pronouncing something wrong, we're like, even white people wouldn't make fun of us, but we would make fun of each other. But I think that's a very slave mindset. It's okay, we at least know the language. Me trying to defend myself.
Yeah, I think it's a really big insecurity for
Yeah, but I feel we both don't lie. I would rather distance myself. I'm not very confrontational.
We just omit answers when people ask us questions that we don't want to.
I think this is falling down.
Okay,
Sorry, I think we all go through these ring light issues.
Okay, we're gonna have to make it better next time. Right now, it is a bit.
This is our first time. So we're going to have a session for 10 minutes. We don't want to make it really long or boring. It should be like a 10-minute discussion. You guys can give us your views. If there are any particular topics with time you want us to discuss, we would love to have a discussion on them. And
so generally we can just tell about how we'll structure it. So we'll just think of a topic, like for example, what is one example of a topic?
Maybe jealousy. Maybe a pick me girl.
Yeah, okay, so we can say like a question like how do you We just need a yes or no question dealing with pick me,
Yeah.
for example.
Have you ever, like, maybe we can say, have you ever interacted with the pick me girl? What do you think about the pick me culture? Is it okay? Is it not? Because some of the things might be okay. Some people really are desperate to have someone by their side,
Yeah.
and others are fine to go with the flow.
Hmm.
And yeah, there's always an option. But I also feel in Pakistan, marriage is like an end goal, and that's why there is so much disappointment in it these days. I feel if it's considered a part of your life, then your expectations automatically go down.
Yeah.
So something like that. These are the kind of topics, everyday topics that people go through, that we see people facing. And we'll also invite people over. Maybe
We'll have a guest
Yeah.
that can like just have a different perspective than us. So generally we'll just ask a yes or no question and give our impulsive answer of yes or no. Yes doesn't always mean I'm gonna say yes. No is not always no for no. So we'll have different opinions, and if we have the same opinion, then we'll have a discussion on that and also look at the other side. If we have different ones, then we'll kind of just
and I
discuss
think our
among each
discussions are also going to be very raw, and they're not going to be very made up. Even if we know the topic, I think we're just going to come on that day and give a raw 10-minute feedback on what she feels according to her culture, her mindset, and what she has seen, because she has traveled a lot with that American passport, girls. And boys.
Yeah,
You
that
can
is
do-
something that is a very big
You
privilege.
can
So
do-
Americans, I don't know why you don't travel. Like everyone I know doesn't have a passport, so that's also like a really weird thing. You guys can go everywhere in this world.
I think when you have the choice, you don't really care.
Yeah,
And I
you
think
don't know the
Desis
other
and you
side.
see Arbies and all of these people travel so much because we know that because of our skin color, we don't really have much of a choice. But with your passport privilege, that's the thing. I mean, once we were trying to get our Turkey visa together, how long did it take
Yeah, it took
for you to get the
me
visa?
like 10 minutes, I think.
And it took me a month and a half to get the visa.
So yeah, these are like just differences. I think like from an American standpoint, I kind of understand because I've been in this culture for 3 years now. So I'm like very involved in a lot of things. So trying to understand from a Western perspective might be a bit difficult, but that's why I also want to break it down and make it understandable for other people.
And I think we're always like, oh, you're too much westernized. Oh, you're too much like into your Pindu. I think when people follow the Desi
So-
culture, they're considered very
Yeah,
Pindu.
so Pindu is like not a nice word to call someone in
Backward,
Pakistan.
basically. It means
Yeah.
somebody, when we want to say, oh, you're backward, it's like a metaphor for that. Because I think the real meaning is when somebody belongs to a village, but we're not using it in that context. We're using it in a way to call somebody backward. And I feel that's a very colonized mindset, because
definitely.
if Yesenia coming from a different country, she's so fine and so confident about her culture, then why can't we accept our own culture and be happy? And I think the amount of cultures that
And I
you've
think-
explored,
Yeah.
people were kind of like, even when we were together in Turkey, people were very like confident. They did not even know how to speak in English.
Yeah.
And they were so fine. I don't know about Thailand. Would you like to share your experience? Like how were
Yeah,
people?
so Thailand, I think, is like very similar. Like, I feel like the people are very empowered there, and that is still like Asia. It does have a bit higher like GDP, and people make more money, but still, I think people don't feel ashamed of their culture. So that is something I've seen in Pakistan happen quite often. And as a foreigner living here, I don't feel embarrassed to like wear Pakistani clothes or to go to certain places. But I think the people who grew up in Pakistan have these preconceived notions that we should not go to these things or we should not do this stuff. So I think in that way, it is like it kind of shapes you after living here for a while. You start to get that mindset as well. So yeah, I think we're coming to the
At the end of the
it.
session, because we can see the time right on our camera.
Yeah, and we will fix this crooked malfunction.
But
next
I think the
time.
more raw it is, the more beautiful it is,
Yeah,
because then
definitely.
people, not the crookedness, but generally the discussion is like silence. But yeah, see you guys next week with a
Yes,
new
yeah.
discussion, and maybe we can
We'll have a
continue the
topic
discussion.
next
Yeah.
week as well.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.